Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys back here again with another action figure review. And today we are going to be reviewing the Top Picks Elite John Cena. Now, a lot of people who may have went out of their way to pick this up and or any of the other figures in the set, because I want to say that Rey Mysterio was a pretty dope figure. The Randy Orton was kind of just another attire. I can't remember what the Drew looks like, but my personal reason for picking this figure up is because one of the very first Elite figures I ever got was this exact Cena, but way back in the day when they originally released this attire, I got this, and I want to say it was the black and purple pants Rey Mysterio. And from there, my collection has just been growing and growing and growing. And, well, it feels nice to have something that reminds me of that figure back in my collection, because I do not own the original, I think it was like Elite 1 or Elite 2 John Cena that this is based off of. But without any further ado, why don't I bust this open and we can go through the accessories and break down the figure itself. Alrighty, now that I've got the action figure out of the box and stuff, I would have it in the background, but the box keeps on falling over and I'm not dealing with that during the figure review itself. So here we are with with all the accessories out of the box. Sorry for the yawn. It's starting to get to like 3 o'clock in the morning now, so not saying I'm not going to take my time with this, but you might notice I'm going to start speaking a little bit faster and hoping I'm not messing up my sentences as much. Anyway, he comes with a lot of different accessories, including his signature dog tags, the hat, which, take a quick look at this, if it'll focus. It's got the "You Can't See Me" logo on it with the blue brim. I really love to see it. He comes with 2 sets of mic holding hands and 2 sets of "You Can't See Me" open palm slapping hands. I guess you could say we know they're "You Can't See Me" hands. And then he comes with 3 sets of removable armbands, which is a really cool touch to start seeing with the Cenas. I hope we get it more often. I think the armbands on mine either came upside down or they came with the decals on them upside down, though I can't tell. I think it's supposed to go like that. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more on it. Yeah, so this armband's supposed to be like that. Obviously, that one goes like that. And then we've got the C Nation armband, as per usual with a John Cena figure. Hopefully I'll be able to get the smaller armbands on properly, because they were on the figure upside down when I took it out of the box. So I don't know if I'll be able to put them on there the other way or whatnot, but we'll figure that out. And then, of course, I'll zoom back out a little bit. We've got the Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect t-shirt, which obviously that's on the one set of armbands. So yeah, that's the way that's supposed to go, not the other way around, obviously. But yeah, really nice accessories. Why don't we get some of them back onto the figure and take a look at the figure itself and see like some of the other stuff that might have been updated with this Cena in particular. Alrighty, now getting into Mr. You Can't See Me Man himself, I think the decals on the lower armbands are upside down because I tried putting them on the other way. The way they molded it, it just does not work the other way. Like, yeah, you could technically put them on. It's just like the top half will go like a little up on the hand. So personally, I don't know how to feel about that. It's not the biggest gripe, but I kind of would have preferred them to be correct. But maybe that's just my figure and it's not everybody else's. I did notice they gave him bigger arms though, and they gave him his old style torso, which is I guess it's fitting for this time period. Ooh, excuse me. I so far I like this figure a lot. It reminds me of a time that I can't necessarily get back. And to be honest with you, this figure all around, it feels pretty good in the hand. Of course, the ankle mold is kind of a little iffy. I would have almost preferred they took the 2014 Cean mold and put the lower half on that mold. I don't care if they gave him the same torso that they have on this body or if they gave him that other torso as well. Either way, I think they both look good. They both look aesthetically pleasing. It's just after a while, kind of like with R-Truth and older Cena's, I'm afraid these ankles are gonna get loose. But I mean, let's look a little bit more at this figure before we just break down the accessories and, break down the accessories. Break down the articulation. You can see the arm is a little bit bigger and the decals are upside down. But they probably also did that for this reason of the You Can't See Me hand. But, yeah, it's kind of just like every other Cena. But I do really like the updated, armband molds and the updated arms in general. It is a really nice touch. Breaking down his articulation, he can look up and down quite a decent chunk. He's got a pretty nice ab crunch. Waist swivel, of course. Got a double jointed elbow, as you can see. Got bicep swivel. He's got arm rotation. I don't know how well I can get him to kick out. I'm just gonna try to do it off camera. So that might kind of be it's not necessarily an issue, but you can definitely tell there's some more posability that wants to come out of these legs that just aren't coming out. So I may have to heat treat the legs, which is a little disappointing, but it's what comes out of the weird popcorn joints that I'm assuming these legs are on. And yeah, they are. Those weird popcorn joints are so terrible sometimes, but it's whatever. Got the double bend in the knee. The knee. That was a little funny. Got upper leg swivel. Got lower leg or ankle swivel. No ankle pivot really. And of course the ankle can bend, but I'm not gonna force that either. Let's try to see if we can get this scene of the stand up proper. But yeah, all around, it does feel pretty good in the hand. The popcorn joints, of course, are an issue, but it's something that they're clearly not just going to stop doing. Every figure, I believe, should be on ball joints, but maybe that is their solution to trying to stop the idea of like loose legs, because ball joints and shit don't really hold the legs as well over time. But I don't know. If you're taking the figure out of the box and 10 to 15 years later it's got really loose legs, do you really expect anything different? Of course, if the legs start getting loose after like a year to 2 years, maybe that's a bit of an issue, and that's what that's trying to solve. I still don't like them though. There's probably a better way you could go about it, and it's just not happening. But on that note, why don't I get the rest of the accessories on this Cean, and we'll rate this Cean, and I don't know, maybe talk about a couple of other things. Maybe talk about future figures I plan on getting for November, December, whenever I start doing my reviews again, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do them in November after this one, or if I'm going to have to wait till December. You know, I just kind of realized after getting all the accessories on them and everything, I did not really get into the head sculpt. So I'm going to just break the pose for a quick second. We'll get into this head sculpt. As long as I didn't just lose that, we're cool. But yeah, it's not really anything different. It's a Cean head sculpt we've seen plenty of times in the past. And it looks a hell of a lot better with true effects, let's be honest. Like, the likeness is just uncanny to Cean. The hair looks good. And there's the hat back on him. But yeah, let's get him back into the pose. Let's rate him, because I think it's time we get this figure rated in Jesus and wrap this video up. But so, besides the popcorn or peppercorn joints, whatever the hell you want to call them, I would say this figure is a really solid figure. It brings back a lot of good memories. It has a lot of great updates to the figure. Like, the shirt itself it's a different material compared to how the original one was. The hat kind of reminds me of the old hat. Of course, getting the dog tags is a nice touch. And if I recall, I want to say everything from the waist down is the exact same from the original figure this is based off of. Just having the double jointed arms, the updated arms, and the armbands, along with the fact that we can interchange the hands, makes this a hell of a lot better and even more cooler than I honestly thought it was going to be. Because I'm not the biggest Cean fan. I used to be, but even then, RVD is still my number one. Cean was like in my top 5 though for the longest time. But yeah, with everything aside, I think just like with the last review, we're gonna give this Cean a good 8 out of 10, a solid 4 out of 5 stars. He's really good all around. Honestly, he would have gotten a 9 if it wasn't for the peppercorn popcorn joints. Because it feels great in hand. I don't even mind the decals as much, just feeling the figure and getting the play with the figure in hand. It's a nice touch, you know. And just because I am recording it the same exact night, I'm just going to put this down real quick and you guys can hear me talk as I'm getting it set up. But just with everything going on in wrestling right now, I don't know if you guys are team AEW or if you're team WWE. I'm personally not really biased towards either one, but you can definitely see where the product has gotten way better WWE wise, and where some of AEW's shine is starting to wear off. Like with all the backstage incidents and stuff like that, it kind of makes you wonder how much control Tony Khan really does have over his own roster. As far as Triple H goes, since he's taken over, I think Raw and SmackDown has gotten so much better. Like, just the way the talent are presented, it feels a lot better. So, I mean, I don't know. Leave a comment talking about if you're an AEW fan and why. Or maybe leave a comment and tell me why you're a WWE fan. Or just why you love wrestling. I would love to hear why you guys love wrestling. For me personally, I love wrestling because it's something that me and my mom could sit down and watch, and we could just actually have a good time and enjoy it. She may not have been the biggest wrestling fan, but she knew how much it meant to me, and for all the right reasons. I can say my mom was the reason why I got into wrestling. And for that, I thank her. And I still wish she was here today. You know, you may not have the greatest relationship with your parents. I don't know how you are, but personally for me, my mom was the greatest person on earth. So for her to take time out of her day to watch wrestling with me meant the world. And I know she knew that. But I don't know. Maybe you guys have a similar story. Maybe you guys don't. I've rated the figure. I've made this one review almost 20 minutes long just by rambling. But hopefully you guys got to learn a little bit about me. Anyways, I'm out of here. Like if you liked the video. Subscribe for future content. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's something I gotta try to start reminding people of too. Anyways, I'm out of here. Deuces.